Hello there everyone and welcome back. We actually managed to face off against Eldar with this Chaos Fleet, and I'm kind of surprised to say that it looks very promising for me despite what you would originally think with the Lances not being very effective against the holofield. But once beacons are stuck onto their ships there, especially since Eldar more often not rely heavily on their Void Stalker and their two Eclipses, they're kind of very top heavy, which makes my beacons all the more powerful, because in truth they're almost always going to rely on those same three cruisers, and everything else is more just a buffer or just to spend the remaining points on. So let's not kid ourselves. A single beacon, if I can put the pressure on Eldar, is immense. If I could stick it on both the Eclipses because of how close they have to get for the Pulsars, that's even better. And then I have such a significant range advantage on them, even though I have that 80% absorption with their full charge holofield. They're still going to get hammered, and eventually these are going to hit, especially if I can get away with a lock-on. When you consider the fragile trait, that's going to pay dividends too, but it's entirely possible I won that based on RNG, and of course my opponent's not keeping their holofield up. That's always a possibility, so let's not get too arrogant. But I like to think there's promise still, even with me only having like 2 Slaneshes that I only used when I was ready to go on the offensive and not deny his attack runs, let's keep in mind. So hopefully I can continue to learn on this, but I need to fight more Eldar first for that to happen though. So let's continue on. Alright. Admiral level 8 Space Marines, or so I'm going to assume anyway, against an opponent I have no idea about, so I like to think I should be in good shape here, although I've been getting horrible results with my previous kind of Space Marine battles, it felt like, so at the very least I do have Slanesh to help deal. Well, I actually have Nurgle, that's kind of the most important thing. Do I really want to throw the Despoiler in? It has the raw health, it has the shields, that would be good. And it is one battle away from its level 6. Which is pretty damn important if you were to ask me there, and it helps with the Thunderhawk's Fag extent. I don't know if I'm probably gonna regret this especially since what? Do I want to really bring the Slaughter in as well? The points do line up decently there. I get some forward scouting there. Ooh, I get 2 forward scouts, so I gotta be smart with how I do this though. This is not quite the dual Acherons, which would be better equipped for this, if I were to argue. But I do have the close range firepower potential on top of 3 Slaneshes to deny any brace for impacts he might do, so I can reliably hit him at 50% armor with the Despoiler at least. And if I'm not willing to commit in close engagement, I still got a lot of Lances and Bombers to kind of intimidate him at range, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know how much I truly like this, mind you, but we gotta be able to prioritize our targets. That battle barge, or at least any strike cruisers, need to be focused down really damn effectively, to the point that they're not going to contribute to the battle, or realistically, what I would like is just straight up blow them up, destroy them. Keep them out of the equation, because extra bombardment cans is still going to hurt. The Despoiler does help to an extent because of supercharged Void Shield and just the sheer amount of extra shields it has to kind of help weather the lock-on potential if I don't need to commit with the Slanesh favor. And I do have 3 Slanesh, I just don't have an easy Siege Cloud, which might be useful for me disengaging. But let's not kid ourselves, he goes the same speed as me. Unless he has a battle barge, but even then his battle barge goes the same speed as my Despoiler, right? So at the end of the day, I don't think I'm going to get an effective disengagement, especially since I only have 1 Stasis Bomb for this, so I gotta choose that properly or time it well, all things considering. Trying to maximize its value, which honestly would be when I get vision of him, or at the very least get a beacon on him so it's impossible for him to just silent run or be hit in for that duration. So let's see, 4 ships. This looks like the battle barge, strike cruisers, and a frigate. I wasn't paying attention where everything's deployed, but I'm going to zoom in the gas cloud there. I wasn't looking at the mini-map, because normally that's what I like to do. Just wait until my opponent readies up, so that way I'm looking at the mini-map to see where the pings are. Even if he immediately silent runs or something, then I can at least see where he's at. So that gives away what I suspected there. In all honesty, I kind of just want to engage the frigate and kill it first. That's what I would really like to do.
Command me.
Oh, it's actually a Vanguard, so I wonder where the points are going in that case, with that said. And I do have a Despoiler to help regardless. I just gotta keep close enough to it because it's the only one that doesn't also have emission dissipators. So let's keep that in mind. And ideally, try not... Let's see. So, 3 vanguards and a battle barge. That is interesting. That is definitely interesting there, if I'm understanding those torpedoes right. At least then I can get some really good damage on that thing quickly. Let's just make sure lances are prepared to do the damage they need to. And if possible, reveal this thing quickly and do a lot of damage, hopefully. I want to stick a beacon on this vanguard. I feel it's like it's worth it in this regard. Especially since the slaughter's not going to be able to see much. It doesn't really have the range and... Okay. Autocast beacon is ready. Just gotta do a couple more lance hits. And autocast... Oh, he's level 5, so a little bit unfortunate there for him. But I am getting my hits in. I did stick a beacon, so that'll make my life a little easier. Now, here comes all the boring torpedoes, so gotta keep that in mind as we chip them down. Dodge, dodge, perfect. And worst case, yeah, I'm not quite in range to hit with my Despoiler's lances, so that's gonna stink some. But there goes his one little scout he was trying to use for his boring torpedo shenanigans. Can I at least keep hitting with lances, though? The answer will be yes, but it's going to take a little bit of time until I pincer him into a corner, though, first. But I think we're okay on the torpedoes. Just keep these lances going. Ooh, 2 fire assaults after repair? That's perfect. There goes like 200 health. Well, really, it's 180 health. But the repairs are going to alleviate a little bit of that still. So the Despoiler, keep on going. Do what free damage you can, and... let's be mindful of micro-warp jump. That's always a consideration I always overlook. The battle barge almost certainly has a micro-warp jump on it. So I want to be prepared. And hell, my Hellbringers alone could deal with this vanguard really damn well if they can keep getting their lance hits in on it. Just gotta be ready for the micro-warp jump. And ideally, dodge these torpedoes since my fighters are kind of going a little AWOL, aren't they? Command me. Okay, he ran off. That's fine. Go run with the rest of your friends. Half his health is gone, which is a great way to start, I want to argue. Cruising speed set. And I can keep on shooting it too because of my extended range. So keep these things moving. Get the Hellbringers in a good advantage point. And the Despoiler should be perfectly fine. You would think anyway, it has 4 fighter squadrons for crying out loud to kind of negate that. So just keep shooting it, and keep in mind... Well, actually, I could just send my frigate in. He doesn't really have lances if he's going to commit to torpedoes. Fighters, do what you need to. It took a notable amount of torpedo damage there. Only 3. I believe it's only 3. Kind of hard to read the health bar a little bit. Oh, actually, it looks like it was only 2. So, let's see. Level 4. He has a micro-warp jump, so... that's kind of what I anticipated. And he's supercharged force shield already, so that's all fine and well there. Now, let's try and cripple his weaponry some. He immediately killed the dang frigate, but that's kind of okay to an extent. Just gotta keep in mind he is locking on. Which actually, let me auto-cache Slanesh. Good God. The odds of that. I'm not happy with that result one bit. But I also have beacons on autocast, right? There we go. Problem solved. I even have Slanesh on autocast, so I think we're okay in this regard. Just make sure my frigates are not easily getting hit. Boring torpedoes, gotta watch them like a hawk, but I think my fighters are also intercepting already because of his Thunderhawks that he launched. So I think we're okay. And I still have my micro-warp jump, keep in mind, so... I don't like running away, but I learned my lesson the hard way, that this... trying to commit to an engagement, especially when I'm not quite equipped for it yet, is a bad idea. So with beacons, side lances, this is going to be brutal still. And also, Slaughter, get behind the battle barge. You don't even need to be against it. So just use your armor-piercing rounds, break through that shield. If you can breach the shields quickly, that'd be great. Although my Hellbringers are a little bit stuck, aren't they? Alright. Dodge the boring torpedoes, keep doing your work. I did burn all my boosters, which is a little unfortunate. Hellbringers, get moving. We did amazing damage still, but without Despoiler to support it, these boring torpedoes are doing work on it. And it did eventually kill the frigate I was neglecting, so... Alright, I think we're okay now. That was a bit of a overcommitment, I think. And I think I might as well just warp this damn thing out too to keep it alive. Just to be safe, because I got a ton of lances. I got a ton of bombers. And this thing will be dead momentarily if he doesn't do anything about it. And I do have repairs still for the Mega Lance. I'm just surprised he managed to get those hits in. And, oh, that was boring torpedoes. That explains it. So just keep doing damage, and ideally, focus on the dang battle barge. Let's prioritize this damn thing. Gotta keep in mind, yeah. Oh god, really? Are things gonna go badly because of this? Let me get my fighters back up. Bombers are a big mistake, I think, in this regard. This is what I'm learning quickly. But I have lots of lances still, so fighters with reload should be in good shape still. That battle barge needs to die, though, with that said. So just keep firing at it. Kill these shields. Please kill these shields for me. Because with a beacon on, it's not going to last very long. But at the same time, I need to make sure it stays visible. Alright, so lock on. I'm going to take a bunch more boring torpedoes. And where the hell are... Ah, my fighters are not coming back up fast enough. This is going to hurt some more. But his battle barge is gone. I did launch my fighters. It is only... I think I had 3 fighter squadrons still out, so that's more than enough still. That is a lot more awkward than it probably needed to be. Without a doubt. One of the main downsides to not having a siege favorite ship here in this squad. But I think we're in damn good shape now. We just gotta finish him off. Or is he gonna warp out? Nope, he's just gonna stand there and let me hit him. Alright, and the beacons are wearing off. Ooh, that thing took a crap ton of critical hit damage. How did that happen, I wonder? Alright, so I still got fighters going. I still have lances firing. I just got to keep replenishing these fighters until my repairs come up. I think it's my main strength. This is just going to drag on for a little bit longer, so brace yourselves, folks. But with them all being temporary damage, I'm perfectly fine. I'm still fine. I'm going to get the gas cloud as a benefit. He just does not want to commit defeat just yet. Oh, and I have engines down too, so that might cause me a bit of problems, but his Vanguard's about to die. Reload's coming up. I think we're golden. And hell, this will slow down his boring torpedoes a tiny bit. 9 more seconds and this thing will be fully operational. Yeah, he's trying to use the battle barge for cover. He's trying to be clever anyway. But ultimately he's just wasting time. I hate to break it to him. He's just delaying his own end, especially when he could be getting experience out of these ships too, but I'll leave it be for now. Just finish off this one Vanguard. I guess that's all really need to be said. Because I have the fighters, I have beacons there. That's basically doing nothing. And he did cause a mutiny. Actually, let me just see if I can hit with macro batteries too. That would be great. Finish it off with macro weaponry. Because I'm hitting 3 targets at once potentially with this Despoiler, which is like the best feeling ever. Even though it's only on 3 Vanguards and this battle should technically already be over. He was just hoping for maybe a lucky critical hit of some kind. Alright. So he's one of those people, isn't he? Alright. Let's just micro warp jump forward then. Finish this thing off quickly, get the Hellbringers moving. Oh, and engines are gone on you, aren't they? So get moving, dodge the boring torpedoes. And ideally, try and spot our friend here because he's doing that game.
Just show us something to kill.
Despoiler's going to be a little bit slow, and I do have a beacon on you, so your assault run is for nothing. And it'll be over momentarily. Just fire those lances. Finish it off. He made it perfectly obvious he didn't want the experience, I guess. Well, that was an underwhelming end. So I apologize for that if I decide for whatever reason to keep that section in. But oh well. It was a little bit tenuous, and geez, if I ever get isolated, it shows that those things get murdered quickly by a sheer amount of boring torpedoes. Never mind the Thunderhawks that were probably hitting my poor Slaughter. That's a testament why you need to keep close formations, or at least have that assault run handy, if nothing else. So, and of course, Kill Frenzy is lost in warp, which is fine. It got his experience. I don't think I'll be using it for next battle anyway. But you know what I am excited about? Level 6 on Despoiler. So we can finally get our lance range increase. Do I want to enhance the lanes? Enhance the range of the lances, or do I want to enhance the damage it does to shields? Is where I'm thinking, because I'm probably going to swap out this armor-piercing ammo for the other. Once I'm comfortable with the renown I have, I still want to save up for possibly the Nurgle favor on this ship, but I think I'll go with the extended lances. I definitely will want to get extended sensors for the micro warp jump, make that more powerful, more mobile. Allowed to get out of trouble, or at least jump into the thick of it a lot more easily with the extended range. But I think we'll stick with this being more longer range. It has actually more lance firepower than the Acrons, but of course the Mega Prow, or was it the super heavy lance turret on the prow, is of course affixated to the prow, so it's going to be a lot trickier to utilize, but when I can use it unhindered, especially with the extended range now, it's going to be amazing with that all said. So I'm still happy with it. I just got to figure out how to best utilize this damn ship. Okay, I can't quite remember if this is the rematch or not. I'm pretty certain it is, but I'm not entirely certain. I feel like this might still be a different person, but we're going to need a lot of raw firepower, which again might encourage the Despoiler. Considering we're doing a breakthrough, he's going to do boring torpedo shenanigans. Let's not kid ourselves. Hell, it makes me wonder if I want more, bombers. But Nurgle is going to be fabulous for this once he gets in close, because I can chase him, follow him along really damn well. I just got to make sure the Acron doesn't die quickly as a result if I want to get that Nurgle damage. So it's going to be a little tricky to do, and I'm really tempted to field one of my carrier Hellbringers for a change. This is kind of light on the points though. I don't know how I feel about it, but if he splits up his fleet, this Hellbringer will be amazing for making those boring torpedoes a lot more complicated. But at the same time, if he's just auto-casting, they're all going to go to the same place, so I don't think I'm really worried there. So more lance is probably better. I do need to spend some time with these bombers though, with that said. Kind of try and get some extra experience for them, which probably means I just swap them out for something else. With that all said. But nonetheless, I just gotta remember where the autocast torpedoes will go. I'm pretty certain it's the farthest beacon on the left. Assuming he does autocast, which we sort of seen he will do that from the last battle. If this is the same person or not. So I'm going to deploy my Despoiler a little bit more to the left to at least start deterring that. And then once he starts catching on, then I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to protect the other beacons. Which won't be very effective for anything that's not a carrier ship, which is kind of why I want my carrier Hellbringer, my Mark I Hellbringer. And I don't think I want my Despoiler quite like that, but it is going to help regardless. And also have that follow along, maybe shoot down some torpedoes. But the one thing I learned about the torpedoes is that the point defense only ever shoots at them once, I think, unless that was changed or fixed or whatever. I'm pretty certain even if I were to follow those torpedoes in to try and maximize the number I shoot down, it's only going to shoot once for each of the capitalist ship's point defense, so I'm going to be relying heavily on the fighters to do the work. And of course, they're tied to the most, the slowest and most, yes, it is the slowest ship in the fleet, of the entire Chaos fleet there, so I'm not expecting miracles out of this thing. But with that also said, I kind of also want to rotate sideways so it can start getting the position there. Those torpedoes will overwhelm me is what I'm learning though. Even the Despoiler with its multitude of fighters is not going to do much. There's the autocast I was expecting. So, let's get on spotting, and remember I have beacons, and maybe, actually, let's get to spotting and see where he goes. And hopefully these fighters are going to do what they need to. I gotta be prepared for when he stops auto-casting them though, and starts actually manually firing with them. Can these fighters do what's necessary? They're going to shoot a lot of them down. Yeah, easily half the fighters or torpedoes, so that's a promising start, but it's still going to hurt.
The ship is taking hits.
I do have repairs up, it survived. That's probably the best I could ask for, all things considering.
Your orders. Setting course.
Okay, so we have revealed a Gladius, so let's kill that damn thing quickly. That's not going to be too difficult to do. And he is Salt Rain. And let my fighters do their thing and get ready for next target. So you see my ship, now what are you going to do about it? Is the ultimate question. Actually, let me identify your next ship. While I'm at there. Gladius is down. Let's see, another Gladius there. And I do have Salt Rain, but how the hell did they board me? The beacon did unfortunately get destroyed, so those are going to be whiff of torpedoes, which I'm fine with. I'm perfectly fine with. If at least stalled it long enough for his third torpedo salvo to kind of be launched, so I still got a bit of a breather to get a little more aggressive and get more into his face, although I did inconveniently boost at the same time, so let's kind of reveal this thing and start finishing off quickly, because I have extended range lances now, and this is going to help a ton. But I don't know where exactly his torpedoes are going to go. All I know is they're going to be right in the way of my Despoiler, which is going to be amazing for shooting them down. It's still a question if he's auto-casting or not, but fighters are going to help a ton in this regard. Just slow him down, pinch him in his corner, and alright. By all means, I see your ship. Now, we're gonna have to evade a bit, but I also have beacons to fix this problem. Can this thing survive, though? I don't think it will, but it can try. It can sure as hell try. Because that's gonna hurt like hell if he's gonna let this onslaught continue and not put any real effort into his fleet management. Yeah, crisis management indeed. Although, that thing might still die. Alright. So keep the weaponry going, I guess. Come on, you know you want to warp him out. At least he's learning. This is alright over, alas. Because he was relying so much on those autocast torpedoes, I guess. Ooh, this might hurt still. Ooh. Only one thing I can say for sure is that since the boring torpedoes will only do temporary damage, I can easily repair that if he was going to commit to a fight. Ah well, our adversary's improving, I guess. He may suffer some loss in warp effects, but mind you, they're still going to get their up levels in. They're going to get their experience in, so at least they're going to get some upgrades and more power, you would think. It's just inconvenient with the loss in warp, I suppose. But that was damn solid. I would have liked to have shot down more of those torpedoes. Maybe if I commit all in with the Despoiler being on the far left, I could have probably indefinitely kept that beacon up, because I would have literally had the Despoiler in the way, so its point defense could have contributed heavily to each of those torpedo shots he was shooting at me. Oh well. It's free renown, it's free experience, and unfortunately it was a little bit underwhelming as a result, since I knew how to deal with that. Although, he didn't even move his fleet even once, so I wonder what his game plan was, even if he did destroy those beacons, because I'm going to go with the assumption those... Did he field 3 vanguards in the battle barge again? I wasn't paying attention to the torpedo count, mind you. But he had at least what looked like 2 vanguards, so he could have easily had them rush across the map once the beacons were down. So, I'm not sure what his strategy was. None the slightest, but I'll take the easy renown. Alright, looks like another rematch here with Okarson, but we'll see what happens. This is going to... well, what all does it really say? I learned the hard way that the boring torpedoes should be taken pretty seriously, so this is a good opportunity to continue feeling Despoiler, I guess. Although, I could go with Devil Devastations as well. That's not a terrible idea either. Is it what I want? I am missing out on Slanesh if I go that route. I do get a frigate for spotting. I don't quite have camo there, but I like the potential of this fleet composition too. Maybe just a little bit less lance fire to an extent. And like I said before, I have less Slanesh favors to kind of utilize effectively, so... don't know how I feel about this ultimately. It's a good opportunity to continue getting experience for a Despoiler, so why the hell not? Why the hell not in all seriousness, especially since I don't quite need just the Hellbringer. I don't need the Mark 1 Hellbringers, I don't think. Especially since we're not doing a breakthrough this time around. And maybe I should have these two frigates together so that way they can support each other a tiny bit with the point defense. We will see. We know he likes to play super passively, so... I should be in good shape here so long as I don't spread up my cruisers again, like with the first battle. That showed it can complicate things heavily if the Despoiler is not the focal point, the anchor to this fleet. I can't get super aggressive until that battle barge is gone, more often than not. Since that's the main source of his torpedoes, and especially his Thunderhawks. And I don't have any camo on any of this stuff. But I at least know what I'm going up against to an extent, so I should be okay, and maybe I can utilize this asteroid field quite well to kind of at least restrict his movement and allow him, or at least force him to kind of like go around. And especially, this is like kind of almost the perfect size to kind of like deny him hit him with a stasis bomb. Although there will be a little bit of openings, it will kind of wedge him in a really narrow corner. So we'll see how it plays out. I'm just talking gibberish, it feels like right now, so let's just try and improve our game if nothing else. And again, we need to keep this Despoiler as kind of like the focus. Everything needs to center around there, and I ideally need to be prepared for those torpedoes really damn well. So I either fly towards them or make sure I'm turned so that way my prow is facing the torpedoes if I can't quite avoid them to minimize the damage. That's the hope anyway. That's the hope. We'll see if that actually happens or not. Actually, Despoiler, there we go. So 6 ships this time, so he's going a little bit lighter this time. Which is kind of, well, he probably suffered loss in warp. That might be what explains that there. Let's see, he does have a beacon going. So he is adjusting, because I don't recall him having that before. Now let's get on moving, let's get on spotting. And I still have Salt Run available. It's not going to be the most convenient, mind you. Since, again, I don't have camera to kind of give me almost complete invisibility. But this will work out well. And I thought I was having you avoid the asteroid belt, but I guess that's fine. So what are we looking at here? 2 strike cruisers, 3 vanguards, so we know what the 6 ships are, and a hunter of some kind for the 4th. Or for the 6th one, so... just get on moving. Hell, I could just boost. In all honesty, I could just boost here and go into the gas cloud. Let him burn his autocast, if he so wishes, that's fine. Alright, and if I could spot this thing, since I still technically have extended sensors, we're golden. Let me just make sure this gets into the gas cloud as quickly as possible. Because I don't really want to burn. Oh, I don't want to burn all my combustion gauge, and up here comes the boring torpedoes now. Right on cue. Right on cue. Let's get in this gas cloud. That'll fix all my problems. There. So there's a waste of boring torpedoes in that regard. We know that's probably the hunter, if nothing else. And he's got a lot of boring torpedoes that thankfully I'm going to be able to dodge. I'm going to dodge them really well. I just want to be able to kill any and all ships I can get. Alright. Get turning, get to firing, and come on. You know you want to come after this. Ram it. I was hoping for a ram. Not going to happen. But I gotta be ready for if assault run. That's gonna be useful in this regard. There. That denies the boring torpedoes really well, and I'm still in vision. And he's not even assault running anyway, so... Did I give these extended lances? Yes, I did, so... They'll do the work I needed to. If I could kill this damn hunter, that'd be great. But my lances are doing a horrible job of it right now.
Just show us something to kill.
So go in for the ram. Be ready for the boring torpedoes he's trying to utilize. And oh, he also does have, like, the brace for impact. And he did burn his repairs, so let's keep that in mind, too. But if a frigate dies, that's the least of my concern. I'm not worried too much. So get these things turning. I thought they were already turning. I saw I was doing a high energy turn in that regard, so... A little bit disappointed there. Just kill his frigate and I could dodge these incredibly well, so I'm not worried. Not yet until he spots everything else. So, dodging his boring torpedoes should be easy as hell for a frigate. Although, having my slaughter grouped up separately with the Hellbringers is getting a little awkward. So just keep on dodging, keep on shooting. Ideally, just weather the storm incredibly well. If he's just going to autocast, by all means, keep on autocasting. And hopefully that opens up a window for me to spot pretty quick soon here. Yeah. These torpedoes aren't even going to hit the frigate anytime soon. Although I gotta be careful of my positioning. I'm not even looking at the rest of his fleet, mind you. Which is kind of fine. Let's see. One boring torpedo there. And now I'm kind of flying into him, so... Now I'm being overwhelmed, but at the same time it's only a single frigate. So I'm kind of fine. I just need to spot the rest of his fleet for... Need to spot the rest of his fleet so it can start doing damage. Doing the damage necessary. And I do have beacons on everything, so we should be golden. It's just getting a little awkward when my ships are getting revealed, even though that did burn a lot of time for his torpedoes to not really hit anything. So I think I'm okay. Let's force him to warp on out, I guess, if he's going to commit to this. And he is going after this one frigate, so let's use it to my advantage, shall we?
We'll follow your command for now.
We're going to spot him momentarily. He'll have to assault run. And I do have assault run of my own, actually, so let's use it. I really do wish I had camo, though. That would help a lot of my problems here. But I think I'm in range to spot him. And now the big question, how much closer do I need to get for the Despoiler? Still a ways away.
Just show us something to kill.
Alright.
Tremble, for chaos comes.
Come on. Yeah, this is getting a little underwhelming, but I think I'm okay. Just gotta be mindful of the dang torpedoes that are still gonna randomly fly into me, so let's take full advantage of this frigate, shall we? And sadly, this only has 6,000 feet range, so it's just to kind of deny and punish him for doing any aggressive plays. But this might still hurt a bit. Especially when he destroyed my generators, but I don't think I need that up yet. I don't need to do anything here. This is getting really underwhelming. Now, let's find out what he's upgraded with. He has micro-warp jump on everything. Oh, yeah, it's micro-warp jump on 3 ships, so let's keep that in mind.
We are unstoppable.
Get ready to evade hard once I start murdering his ships. Although I should be focusing on this one ship. He's probably going to micro-warp jump into me, which is fine. And I have my own micro-warp jump anyway to help easily get this Despoiler out of the way. So I'm not concerned just yet. In fact, this is going to help me because he's going to micro-warp jump right into these bombers. It's just a question, where is he going to micro-warp jump with that said? He did get a little more narrow arc. Not all that exciting, mind you, but that's fine there. That's fine so far. Let's get these shields back up. I don't like having to burn repairs for something that's not all that useful yet. But he burnt all his orders. Let's get the slaughter in here. I kind of want to lock on, in all honesty, but I don't think it's worth it just yet. Not quite yet. Let's get the slaughter in point-blank range and just murder this thing.
We'll follow your command for now.
And of course destroyed one of my weapon components as a result, so...
Just show us something to kill.
he got heavily damaged at a bad time. I was hoping
Chaos comes.
to maybe be able to repair that and preserve the frigate a bit.
Adjusting rotation.
So, murder this thing quickly. We got 4 bomber squadrons unleashing. Although my fighters are also dead, so let's not get too excited just yet. Actually, I was really tempted to just micro warp jump in front of them. Probably not a good idea.
Setting course.
But I do have reload, I do have repairs. This will help some with my bomber strategy at least.
Unstoppable.
And I have armor-piercing rounds still, so this is gonna hurt immensely. This is gonna hurt like hell. I don't have any fighters though, so let's not get too carried away just yet.
Cruising speed set.
This is still a lot of damage. My repairs are no longer operating, so gotta be cautious. Still gonna be a lot of damage when those critical hits start triggering.
Tactical cogitators.
And also, let's deal with your brace for impact to maximize
Retros
the
activated.
effectiveness of these bombers.
Setting course.
There, those are effective bombers. Those are the bomber hits I wanted. Now we just gotta finish the job, with that said.
Return to
Alright, this is all but over. It's just a question of how much damage is this Despoiler gonna take. Because it could still be a notable amount of damage, but I'm in the sweet spot. I'm in the perfect position to just hit with 50 armor with the macro cannon. So,
your command.
for once, my upgrade for the armor-piercing ammo is actually paying off very nicely. Unfortunately, it's resulting for his entire fleet dying a miserable death. A horrible death, as it were. And it is showing.
Ready eternally.
And I have extra bombers, so I feel like the reload order was actually pretty potent there. Some? I don't know. How much does it actually reduce there? Because I thought it was 60-second cooldown before. Oh, that's because reload's not currently active. That explains it. Well. Not very exciting matches, but... Well, you should have warped them out, buddy. Why didn't you do it? I could not tell you. I could not tell you. He was kind of asking for it since his strategy seems like it was relying heavily on the boarding torpedoes and me coming to him. So... Oh well, I got no other words for this. I think the point is made. But I do got a good amount of renown now. Do I want to swap out the armor-piercing ammo now? After all I've been saying, they actually been paying off for these past few battles? In all honesty, that was probably the exception and not really the rule anyway. I'm certain that the Space Marines kind of want to get in my face ideally, because they're much more potent in close potentially, especially with a battle barge. Battle barges are scary, especially if you can get away with a lock-on, but thankfully I can get away from him, or at least I have a means to deny him his guaranteed critical hits, so we're okay in that regard, and the bombers are my burst damage as well as massive deterrent to deal with those torpedoes, so I think this Despoiler, if nothing else, even without the armor-piercing rounds, is performing amazingly.